The United States and Israel assassinated Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, for 35 years. They leveled the IRGC headquarters. They killed its top commanders, and none of it worked. The IRGC didn't collapse. It didn't negotiate. It didn't even flinch. It promoted someone new, reloaded, and kept firing. 47 years of surviving everything. And now it runs the country it was built to protect. This is that story. Khomeini, the Shia cleric who led Iran's 1979 revolution, became its supreme leader. Then he looked at his own military and saw the enemy. The officers were American-trained. The weapons were American-made. The loyalties, unknown. In post-revolutionary Tehran, unknown was the same as dangerous. So he didn't reform the military. He built a second one, beside it, above it, watching it. May 1979. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is officially established. Its mission was not to defend Iran from foreign invasion. Its mission was to defend the regime from Iran itself, crush dissent, prevent coups, keep the revolution alive by any means necessary. It was not built to protect Iran from outside. It was built to control Iran from within. Saddam Hussein looked at Iran in 1980 and saw a country in chaos. New regime, purged military, no stable leadership. He thought it would collapse in weeks. He was wrong. Iraqi tanks crossed the border in September 1980. What Saddam expected to be a quick victory became 8 years of brutal war, the deadliest conflict the Middle East had seen since World War II. For the IRGC, the war was an opportunity. It gave them the justification to grow. More troops, more weapons, more authority. By 1982, they had a foreign operations unit, the Quds force, already active in Lebanon. By the time the ceasefire came in 1988, they had their own ground forces, their own intelligence branch, their own militia network called the Basij, and military operations running across the region. When the war ended, the IRGC had become something far bigger than Khomeini originally intended, and they had learned one thing: every crisis was a chance to expand. Iran was in ruins after the war. The IRGC did not disband. The government gave them one job: rebuild the country. Within a decade, they controlled pipelines, roads, ports, and telecoms, all without competitive bidding or oversight. Then came Western sanctions, meant to cripple Iran's economy. What actually happened? They built a shadow economy around them. Ghost ships, crypto networks, smuggling routes across 4 continents. Every sanction meant to weaken them made them richer. By the time anyone understood what had happened, the IRGC didn't just control the guns, it controlled the money. In Iran, that means it controls everything. While taking over Iran's economy, the IRGC was also building a military network across the Middle East. The tool for this was the Quds force, its foreign operations unit, a combination of the CIA and America's most elite special forces. Lebanon, 1982. The Quds force built Hezbollah from scratch, training it, arming it, turning it into a full military organization that would fight Iran's wars from Lebanese soil for 4 decades. The man who built it, Ahmad Vahidi, founding commander of the Quds force. 1 year later, 1983, a Hezbollah suicide bomber drove a truck into the U.S. Marine barracks in Beirut. 241 American soldiers dead, the single deadliest attack on Americans since World War II. The order came from Tehran. The hands that built the weapon were Vahidi's. Buenos Aires. A car bomb destroyed the AMIA Jewish Community Center, 85 dead. Argentina's worst terrorist attack in history. Vahidi personally chaired the meeting where the attack was approved. Interpol has been hunting him ever since. Iraq, 2003. Quds-backed Shia militias attacked U.S. troops with roadside bombs until America withdrew in 2011. Syria. The Quds force kept Assad in power when his government was days from collapse. Yemen. It armed the Houthis, who then shut down the Red Sea and launched drones at Saudi Arabia. One man ran all of it after Vahidi, Qasem Soleimani, appointed Quds Force commander in 1998. For 20 years, the most powerful military figure in the Middle East, running operations across 5 countries at once. January 3, 2020. A U.S. drone killed him at Baghdad airport. Millions attended his funeral. 56 mourners were trampled to death. Days later, in the chaos that followed, they accidentally shot down Ukraine International Airlines Flight 752. 176 dead, most of them Iranian. Nobody was fired. Nobody faced consequences. Because in Iran, the IRGC answers to no one. At some point, the IRGC stopped serving the government started serving it. Ahmadinejad, president from 2005 to 2013, came from the IRGC. He brought it into power with him. Cabinet, parliament, courts, broadcasters, all of them. But even he wasn't allowed to forget who was really in charge. In January 2009, during a National Security Council meeting, Ahmadinejad suggested more press freedom to calm post-election protests. IRGC Commander Mohammad Ali Jafari's response: "You caused this chaos, and now you're talking about press freedom?" Then he slapped him. The meeting stopped immediately. The president of Iran had just been slapped by his own military commander. Nothing happened to the man who did it. 2009. The Green Movement brought millions into the streets, demanding their stolen election back. The IRGC deployed the Basij, who beat protesters, opened fire, and arrested thousands. At least 70 killed. 4,000 detained and tortured in prison. The protests were crushed. Iran was not a democracy with a powerful military. It was a military that held elections and destroyed anyone who didn't accept the results. For decades, the world watched, wrote reports, issued statements, did almost nothing. In 2019, under the Trump administration, the U.S. officially designated the IRGC as a terrorist organization. Europe held back until late 2025, when the IRGC opened fire on its own civilians, filmed, documented, undeniable. By early 2026, the EU, Ukraine, and a dozen more countries followed. 47 years. That's how long it took the world to say what the IRGC had always been. June 2025. Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, simultaneously striking Iran's nuclear sites, missile infrastructure, and IRGC command with fighter jets, ground operatives, and suicide drones within minutes. Their headquarters in Tehran was destroyed. Commander Hossein Salami was killed, dozens of generals dead in 12 days. Iran called it the 12-Day War. They called it a provocation. Within weeks, they had replacements in place and operations running again. This is when analysts started asking a different question. Not can you hurt the IRGC? Clearly you can. The question is, does it matter? Leadership killed. New leadership steps in. Infrastructure destroyed. The economic network covers the cost. Commanders dead. There are always more. They were designed to keep functioning no matter what. Before most of Tehran was awake, the sky lit up. February 28, 2026. 900 strikes in 12 hours. Supreme Leader Khamenei, dead. Top IRGC commanders were killed in the opening strike. Iran fired back immediately. Missiles were already in the air while Tehran was still being hit. That's what matters. They were responding while they were dying. Military planners have always believed one thing: kill the leader, and everything collapses. It worked on armies, it worked on terrorist groups, but the IRGC was built differently. When the top was hit, nothing stopped, because this system doesn't rely on one man. Authority is already spread. Every unit knows when to fire. No permission needed. The top gets hit. The bottom keeps going. Khamenei was dead. The government was paralyzed. The IRGC took control. A council of commanders ran the country. The president was still there. The parliament was still there, but neither of them was making decisions. President Pezeshkian, Iran's elected president, repeatedly requested meetings with the new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. Every request was denied. When Pezeshkian tried to appoint a new intelligence minister, the man blocking every candidate was Ahmad Vahidi, the man who built the Quds force, who approved the AMIA bombing, who has been on Interpol's wanted list for 30 years. He is still in command, blocking the president's cabinet appointments, directing missiles at Israel, U.S. bases, and Gulf states, running Iran. The IRGC's leadership has been decimated in recent years. Its nuclear program is gone. Its navy has been largely destroyed. Its headquarters in Tehran is rubble. And yet, it is still operating. The cracks are real. The 2025 protests were the largest uprising in the history of the Islamic Republic. Besieged units in multiple cities refused orders. But the IRGC has absorbed shocks before: war, sanctions, assassinations, internal unrest. It has adapted and continued. Some analysts believe the system is more fragile than it looks, that once enough people stop believing in it, it can unravel fast. Others point out it has been declared finished many times before, and survived each time. You can kill its commanders, destroy its headquarters, sanction its banks, sink its navy. It will promote someone new, find new ways to move money, and keep firing. This is not just a military, it is a system embedded across the state. The only question left: has it already started to break, or is this just the beginning?